I will show how quantum physics is proving universal oneness, and how quantum physics is proving that you are a vibrational being. And I will explain how through being a vibrational being, you can create the reality that you prefer. Hello, welcome to my reality. I'm Becca, and today I would like to share with you some topics that are very near and dear to my heart, very exciting information. So, string theory. String theory is a study in quantum physics that is showing that everything in existence, when reduced to its smallest form, its most microscopic, raw form, everything is made up of tiny vibrating strings. Why is this so exciting to me to find out that everything is made up these tiny vibrating strings? Well, for me, this ties in directly with universal oneness. Universal oneness is the idea that everything in existence is actually one being, expressing itself in a multitude of ways in order to experience itself in every way possible. So as I watch science discover these things in quantum physics about string theory, stating that we are all made up of this tiny vibrating strings, it's very exciting to me because everything in creation, from the tree to the water to the grass to the stars to the sky to you to me, everything is one. Everything is one. Universal oneness, right? So string theory is actually stating that indeed we are all made up of the same thing. These tiny vibrating strings. Very exciting. So like I said, universal oneness ties together directly for me with string theory. We are all made up of tiny vibrating strings. Imagine like the strings on a guitar. When you touch them, they vibrate, right? Okay, so when they vibrate, they emit a sound, a frequency. If we are all tiny vibrating strings at our most microscopic, rawest form, if that's what we're made of, isn't it only logical that we are emitting some sort of frequency? We are emitting a vibration. So here, this ties in directly to another one of the most interesting things in my reality, which is the fact that we are all vibrational beings. We are all vibrational beings. We are emitting signals and frequencies at all times. You want to get your life going in the direction you want it to? Know what kind of frequency you're emitting. When you know what kind of frequency you're emitting, when you know what you're tuned into, when you know what kind of vibrations you are emitting, you can then steer it in the direction that you prefer. When you realize and know that you are this vibrational being, and through quantum physics, it's opening up the doorway for everyone to have the realization that indeed you are a vibrational being made up of tiny vibrating strings, and that we are all one. We are all one. We are all made up of the same thing. Everything is made up of the same thing, these tiny vibrating strings. So, universal oneness ties directly to string theory. The fact that we are vibrational beings emitting a frequency and receiving frequencies at all times also ties into string theory.
I work in something called string theory. That's what I do for a living. In fact, that's my day job. What is the universe? The universe is a symphony of vibrating strings.
Why does it matter if we were a vibrational being? Why does it matter if we are all one? Well, being a vibrational being, sending off frequencies and receiving frequencies is how we create the world around us. So, imagine your emotions to be like the tuning dial on a radio. So, if you are feeling happy and you are feeling good, your tuner is tuned to the frequency of happiness, to the frequency of well-being. If you're feeling sad and down and not very good, then your tuner is tuned to the frequency of sadness and sorrow and despair. Most important is you can control which frequencies you're emitting. You can control which vibrational wavelength you're tuning yourself to. And how do you do this? By how you feel. When you get yourself into a good feeling state of being, you are literally putting yourself into the frequency of well-being. You are transmitting frequencies that are helping you align and match up with well-being. And in return, you will receive frequencies of that nature. So your reality around you will turn into wonderful things that you've always dreamed of. I've tested this out for myself, and I have watched my reality transform. I'll give you a little example. When I had the realization that I am indeed a vibrational being, that I am indeed emitting a frequency, emitting a signal. When I found this out, when I had this realization, I decided, okay, if I'm a vibrational being, I want to control what vibration I'm emitting. I want to control what I'm aligning with. I want to know what frequency I'm giving out. And I want to raise my vibration to the highest place that I possibly can, so I can align with well-being at the most maximum potential that I possibly can in any moment. So what did I do? First of all, I listened to some amazing teachers that I have and hold near and dear to my heart as well. And the best advice that they could have ever given me was to care about how I feel. Because how I feel determines what frequency I am emitting. It determines what vibrations my little strings are creating. So I got into a practice every day of intentionally putting myself in a state of happiness, regardless of what was going on around me. I reminded myself of one of my favorite mantras: circumstances don't matter, only state of being matters, matter equaling materialize. And I remembered that I can feel good no matter what. I can sit and observe a condition that I don't like, but it doesn't have to take me down. It doesn't have to ruin my day. It doesn't have to. It's my choice. I get to decide how I feel about it. I get to decide what I focus on. I don't have to succumb to bad, sad feelings just because I looked at something I didn't prefer. I can look the other way. I can look for things that I do prefer. I can find things that I do enjoy to look at. And that's what I did. Now, as I tuned my tuner to the frequency of well-being, as I put myself in the place of well-being and a match to that, and I aligned with the highest vibration that I possibly could at the time, I then started to see things coming into my reality, physical, tangible things changing. It was amazing. It still is amazing because it continues to happen every single day. I will give you some tangible, material things that have changed in my reality since I started my journey on raising my frequency, knowing that I'm a vibrational being. And it all started with string theory, really. Noting that we are all these tiny vibrating strings. We are all made up of the one. We are the one, universal oneness. So, the tangible things I can actually discuss with you are, for example, I used to live in a very poverty-stricken, crime-ridden neighborhood. I lived in these kind of neighborhoods for quite a long time, about 10 years of my life. I lived in neighborhoods that were not pretty to walk through. They were not nice. They were not clean. There was a lot of drugs. There was a lot of gangs. There was a lot of violence surrounding me. I realized when I had the realization that I was a vibrational being, that I could tap into well-being, that I could in a sense, stand within that and be okay and create my own happiness from within. I didn't need a condition outside of myself to make me feel good. I could reach for a better thought. I could go into my memory bank and pull out a thought from the past that felt good and relive it. All different kinds of techniques that I could use to get myself in a good feeling place. And I actually have another video discussing that specifically. But for now, back to the main point here. So I lived in a neighborhood that was not fun, that was not nice to look at, that was scary and dangerous. I wouldn't go for a walk in the middle of the afternoon, let alone at midnight, in these neighborhoods that I lived in previously. Once I started tuning myself in the direction of well-being, once I started tuning myself to the vibration of well-being and happiness, I saw a complete change in my whole environment. I went from living in a tiny little one-bedroom apartment on the second floor within a complex of buildings. I was always renting. So I went from these tiny little places that I was renting, and I now, through no physical effort of my own, literally through the fact of me training my vibration in a positive way, I literally have moved into a beautiful neighborhood. Beautiful neighborhood. As you can see, I'm sitting outside. It's dark out right now. I'm up on my balcony deck that faces the Mississippi River. And I will add some footage to this in the daytime so that you can see around me. But I went from living in a nasty environment to living in a beautiful 2,800 square foot home next to the Mississippi River in a beautiful little village, just full of kind, warm, friendly people. My surroundings have done a complete turnaround, and I didn't get any fancy job that gave me a ton of money. I didn't go out and seek so hard and search to find this place. I literally got into a state of well-being aligned with what I wanted as far as well-being on a vibrational level. So I cared about how I felt, and I focused on what felt good, and I kept a positive attitude. And I literally watched my entire environment change around me. Hey guys, hello. So it's daytime now, and I'm going to take you outside and just show you around a little from the balcony deck that I was telling you about last night. And so I'm just going to give you a little bit of footage of outside where my environment is now. I'll let you use your imagination to depict where I lived previously. But like I said, it was very crime-ridden. It was very dirty, garbage, poverty. It was not good. And literally, through focusing positively and raising my vibration, I was able to see a tangible change in my reality. So I want to share it with you all in just a little bit of footage here today. All right, so here we go.
Well, what you're wanting to do is raise your appreciation of your knowledge of the energy and raise your appreciation of your vision. In other words, it really is as simple, and you sort of have to figure out how to work this out. It really is as simple as if your desire or dream, goal, if it pleases you when you think about it, then you're in the right vibrational stance. It is the doing what you want that causes the alignment with the vortex that takes away the resistance that then brings the abundance to support whatever you want. The money isn't the means to the happy life. The happy life is the means to the money. If all you were doing was just looking into your now for things that you could appreciate or praise, you would shift your vibration enough that it would raise to the vibrational level of what's in your vortex, of what you've been dreaming about. There's a journey between where you are and where you want to be. It is not a work journey. It's not an effort journey. It's not a getting higher journey. It's a vibrational journey.
All right, so that was just a quick little trip outside for a little bit. in the future, I'll be doing a lot more videos, definitely outside footage, definitely just sharing more of my insights and perspectives with you. I really appreciate you being here. And definitely, if you want to have further interaction with me, hit subscribe. If you like this video, click like and comment below, and I will definitely get back with you.
If you were encouraged to pay attention and really care about how you feel, only you would create dramatically wonderful lives for yourself.